Our next topic is projecting cash collections, and where it follows, we learned how to draw up the sales budget, then from production to direct material, direct labor, manufacturing overhead, finished goods budget, cost of goods sold budget, non-manufacturing budget, that is selling and administration. Ji, walaikum salam Akas. And then we learned how to draw up the pro forma financial statement based upon the budgeted numbers. Now, the next thing in flow is the cash budget. But before we do the cash budget, we need to do a very important topic from exam point of view, that is PCCS, projecting cash collection schedule, or the projected cash collection schedule, what you are going to receive in what month. This would be the inputs to your cash budget. So let's go straight to this topic, related questions. Projecting cash collections. How much cash we are going to collect in the coming period. This is the first input to your cash budget, which we'll be doing in our next class. Okay, let's see what the question is all about. Which of the following is the best characteristics concerning the capital budget? Capital budget is also one of the financial budgets. In capital budget, we plan how much investment we are going to make in long-lived assets, property, plant, and equipment. This is the area you will discuss in much detail in your CMA Part 2, Section E. The capital budget is a plan to ensure that there are sufficient funds available for the operating needs of the company. No, capital budget is not for this purpose. For this, we have cash budget, how much cash we would need. Capital budget is an exercise that sets the long-range goals of the company, including the consideration of external influences caused by others in the market. This is strategic management and strategic planning, not the capital budgeting. Capital budgeting is a plan that results in the cash requirement during the operating cycle. No, this is cash budget. So what is capital budget? It's the plan that assesses the long-term needs of the company for plant and equipment purchase. Complete Section E, CMA Part 2, and your correct option. Next. Which of the following items would have to be included for a company preparing a schedule of cash receipts and disbursements for calendar year 1? Cash receipts and cash payment. A purchase order issued in December year 1 for items to be delivered in February year 2. There is neither cash inflow nor outflow. It's totally irrelevant option. Dividends declared in November year 1 to be paid in January year 2 to shareholders of record as of December year 1. This is an outflow, but this would occur in next year Jan. We are looking for any cash inflow or outflow for the calendar year 1. So this B is not correct option because it's an outflow to take place in January year 2. C, the amounts of uncollectible customer accounts for year 1. Uncollectible customer accounts are your bad debts, so they are not your cash flows. Forecast neither a cash inflow nor an outflow. It is not a cash item. What about D? The borrowing of funds from a bank on a note payable taken out in June year 1 with an agreement to pay the principal and interest in June year 2. So you are talking about a note payable. You issued this note payable, and against this note, bank gave you some money in June year 1. So this is clearly an inflow in year 1. Zahid, you're right. This is the inflow in year 1 to be shown as a cash collection or the cash inflow for the period. Now, these are the questions, ladies and gentlemen. You are going to be tested on these types of questions for sure. I'm not going to do any theoretical work for this topic because there is no need to. You just need to learn how to estimate the collections of cash in the coming months or coming quarters. And just questions should be sufficient enough to cover the topic. There is no need to do any theory. Okay, so let's do this question. A typical exam type question. It says, color blue, okay. Debug company has developed the following sales projections for the calendar year. May, June, July, August, September, and October. Numbers are there. Fine. Normal cash collection experience has been that 50% of sales are collected during the month of sale and 45% in the month following sale. So if you sell in May, let's say $100,000 worth of goods, you will collect 50% of this amount within May, and 45% of this amount will be collected in the next month. This is the company's collection pattern. And if you add 50 and 45, that is 95. What about 5%? The remaining 5% of the sales is never collected, means it goes bad. DBUG's budgeted cash collection for the third calendar quarter are, third calendar quarter means July, August, and September. How much cash you're going to collect in these 3 months? You need to be very careful while you read the information, and be careful when you calculate, because even if you take some wrong step, still your result will match. Your incorrect computation will still match with any of the options, and that might give you the feeling that you have done it right, but that won't be right. So make sure you read the information carefully and do the right computations. Okay. Now, let's say, since we have to calculate the cash collections only in this period from July to September, let's move in the reverse order. This is the suggested approach. You need to move in the reverse order. What you sell in September, 50% of this will be collected within September. Why? Because it says 50% of sales are collected during the month of sale. That means you will collect this $75,000 then and there within September. All right. What about August? What you sell in August, 50% is collected within August and 45% will be collected within September. This is the period under consideration, which means we will be able to collect the 95% of this amount within the calendar quarter we are talking about. So if you calculate 95% of this amount, there are going to be lots of twists and turns in these kinds of questions, and I will try to cover as many as I can. There are going to be twists and turns, so be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. So 160,000 is the sales in August. 50% of this amount will be collected in August and remaining 45 in September. Since we are talking about the whole quarter, so I've just calculated 95% of this number. Then what you sell in July, 50% will be collected within July and 45% in August, which means we will collect 95% of July sale within the quarter we are talking about. So 95% of 140 gives you 133. Is it over? No, it is not over. Because what you sold in June, $120,000 worth of goods, 50% of June sales will be collected within June. Now you will collect 45% of June sales in July, in the quarter you are talking about. So 45% of 120 will give you 54,000. So these are the 4 inflows you will see in these 3 months, in the third quarter. If you add all these, 54 plus 133 plus 152 plus 75, it gives you 414. Answer excellent. Excellent, you got it right, and you got it quite quickly. So 414 is the total cash you will collect in these 3 months, July, August, and September. So that makes C to be the correct option. Next, the cash receipts include which of these? Funded depreciation. Can anyone tell me what is funded depreciation? Ladies and gentlemen, future CMAs. What is funded depreciation? Anybody? Anybody? What is funded depreciation? Depreciation fund, Shamsu, excellent. Depreciation fund in which we transfer cash every year equal to the depreciation charge, so that when sufficient amount is accumulated, we will use that cash to purchase new machinery. So funded depreciation means that you set aside a certain cash amount every year for future asset replacement. So it's an outflow. We are talking about receipts. It's an outflow. Operating supplies. outflow. Extinguishment of debt. Can someone tell me what is extinguishment? Fire extinguisher. Just like the way you put off fire, this is paying off debt. So it's an outflow, it's an outflow, it's an outflow. Loan proceeds is an inflow. So you can get these questions, these kind of question on your exam as well. Some questions will be very fairly straightforward, 1 or 2 liner question, and some would be like these, longer. Okay. What is it? The cash receipts from account receivable that should be budgeted for September. Projecting cash collections for the month. So we need to see how much cash we will collect in September. For this, you need to lay down your working appropriately. We have been given the July sale, that is $120,000. We have been given the August sale, that is going to be 211. September, 198,000. I think that's all. July, August, September. Okay. It says collection experience indicates that 60% of the budgeted sales will be collected the month after the sale. 60% of the sale is collected 1 month after the sale, and 36% will be collected the second month after the sale, and 4% will be uncollected. Okay. If this is the case, what is the cash inflow in September? You will not collect anything in September related to September sale. Why? Because what you sell in September, the collection would start from October. So you won't receive anything from September sales. You have to read the information carefully. What you sold in August, right? This is your September inflow bucket. What you sold in August, 60% of this amount will be collected in September. So 60% of 211,000 would be 126,600. Then what you sold in July, 60% of this amount will be collected in August. Remaining 36% will be collected in September. So 120,000, 36% is 43,200. So just add these two numbers and you get your answer. 169,800 RR. Excellent. It's the answer. 169,000 is your inflow in September. So you have to be very careful because these questions can be little tricky when you don't read the information carefully. The cash budget must be prepared before completing which of these? Capital expenditure budget is a standalone budget that involves investment in long-term assets, property, plant, and equipment. It has nothing to do with the cash budget because it is separately prepared. Sales budget is the first budget we draw. Cash budget must be prepared before completing the forecasted balance sheet. Why? Because the cash budget's closing balance will be the input in the current assets section as a balance of cash. So you cannot complete your balance sheet unless first you draw up the cash budget. All of you are right. It is C. Now we are talking. This is a difficult question. I told you there are many twists and turns. It is a sheet of balances. Exactly answer. Balance sheet is a sheet of balances. So we need the cash balance to incorporate in our budgeted balance sheet. This is a challenging question, ladies and gentlemen, a kind of question you should expect on your exam. Historically, Pine Hill Wood Products had no significant bad debt experience with its customers. Customers have been nice. They have been paying all the amounts due. Cash sales have accounted for 10% of the total sales. Cash sales is important information. Cash sales have accounted for 10% of the total sales. Okay, that means the remaining 90% would be the credit sales. And the payments for the credit sales, of course, have been received as per the following pattern. 40% of the credit sales in the month of sale, 30% of the credit sales in the first subsequent month, 25% of the credit sales in the second subsequent month, and 5% of the credit sales in the third subsequent month. A good question indeed. Now, the forecast for the both cash and credit sales combined is as follows: Jan, Feb, March, April, and May. It says, what is the forecasted cash inflow, projecting cash collections for Pine Hill Company for the month of May. Now, what you're going to do, you are going to do something about this question. You are going to write up a bucket like this and just collect cash coming from the previous months into the month of May. Now, first of all, what you sell in May, $85,000, 10% of this is the cash sale which is collected immediately, $8,500. This is the cash sales in May collected within May. If 10% is the cash sale, that means 90% would be the credit sale. Out of that 90% credit sale of May, we will collect 40% of it, because it says 40% of credit sales is collected in the month of sale. So May's 85,000, 90% would be the credit sale. Out of this credit sale, you will collect 40%. So if I calculate 85,000's 90%, and that amounts 40%, will give me 30,600. Okay, so these are the two amounts related to May sales. Now go one step back. What you sell in April, 90% of that amount is credit. Out of that credit sales, 40% is collected within April. Now you're going to collect the 30% of the credit sale. So you're going to take 80,000's 90%, that will be the credit sale. Out of this credit sale, you're going to collect 30%, which is 21,600. All right, then again, one step back. You sold goods worth 70,000 in March. 90% of this number is credit sales. Out of the sales, you got 40% in March, 30% in April. Now you're going to get 25% in the month of May. 25% of this number will be 70,000's 90%. You need to redo these questions repeatedly to grasp the idea. 15,750. Right, then lastly, what you sold in Jan, 95,000. 90% of this amount is credit. And as per the policy, 40% is collected within Jan, 30% in Feb, 25% in March. Now, I need to go to Feb, not Jan, wrong. What you sell in Feb, 40% is collected within Feb, 30% in March, 25% in April. Now you're going to collect 5% of this amount in May. That's what we need. So 65,000's 90%, and its 5% will give you 65,000 multiplied by 90% multiplied by 5% gives me 2,925. Now add all these up: 2,925, 15,750, 21,600, and these two. You should get the total amount. This was a bit twisted question, but nonetheless, you have to practice on questions like these to enable you to get through the exam. 3,600. It gives me a total of 7,9,375. 7,9,375. That is option C. See, most of you got different results. And see, Afzal says 76,450. It isn't there. Waqas says 76,500. Waqas, you surely would have made a mistake. And then we have an option A also. So it is C, 7,9,375. You have to be very careful while you're extracting the information. Things can be twisted. So you need good deal of practice on questions like these. And as I said, two questions. Kyun Shamsu, there will be two questions on your exam from this specific topic. Historically, this has been the examiner's favorite. Now, what about this question? Read this information and then just guess what the answer is going to be. Due to deteriorating economic conditions, Pine Hill Wood Product has now decided that its cash forecast should include a bad debt adjustment of 2% of credit sales, beginning with the sales for the month of April. Right? The 5% collection, the last one, the 5% collection in the fourth month, 5% in the third subsequent month should be reduced to reflect the bad debt, which means this 5% which was collected in the third subsequent month Now we have to reduce it to just 3%, reflecting 2% of the sale won't be collected. Now, because of this policy change, the total expected cash inflow in April related to sales made in April. What you sold in April, 40% of that will be collected within April, credit sales. 30% will be collected in May, 25% will be collected in June, and then remaining 3% will be collected in July. So basically, the impact of this sale and its collection in April will be unaffected because the bad debt will occur in July, not in April. So because of this policy change, the total expected cash inflow in April related to sales in April will have no effect because the bad debt would occur in July. You will receive what you were supposed to receive in April, and what you were supposed to receive, April's 90% sale is credit, and out of that you will receive 40% of this in the same month. Bad debt will occur, but in July, so which means the collection in April will stay the same. Look at this. The estimated collection in July related to credit sales in April will be reduced by 1440 because 2% of the amount will become bad. So that was the important point you need to remember. Then we have, this is again a good one. British Corporation has the following historical pattern on its credit sales. 70%, all sales are on credit. There is no distinction between cash and credit. 70% are collected in the month of sale, 15% in the next month, 10 further, 4 next, and 1% is uncollectible. If this is the case, the sales on open account means sales on credit have been budgeted for the first 6 months of the year as follows. Jan through June. It says, what is the estimated collections during April from account receivable from in the month of April? That means we are going to restrict our computation only till April. These two numbers are irrelevant now. Okay, it says that 70% collected in the month of sale, so which means you will collect 70% of this amount immediately. What you sell in March, 70% is collected within March, 15% is collected in the next month. In April, that's what we are interested in. What you sell in February, 70% is collected within Feb, 15% is collected in March, and now you're going to collect 10% of this amount. And lastly, what you sell in Jan, 70% is collected within Jan, 15% in Feb, 10% in March. Now you're going to receive 4% of this amount. So take all these percentages and add them up, you will get your answer. I'm going to take 70,000's 44%, 90,000's 10%, 100,000's 15%, and lastly 120,000's 70%. That gives you 110,800. This is the cash you expect to collect in April, and that nicely matches with your option B. Right. Next. Same question, but this time the information is requested in a little different way. BID's estimated total cash collections during the second calendar quarter from the sales made on open account during the second calendar quarter. What exactly this line means? Cash collections. Cash collections during the second calendar quarter from the sales made on open account during the second calendar quarter, which means we just have to focus on the second calendar quarter, not before that and not after that. I just need to see how much of the cash will be collected from this amount only this amount, nothing else. Okay, which means these numbers are irrelevant for me. Okay, now listen to me very carefully. I just have to consider these three sales and how much of these will be collected within this period. This is the bracket within which we have to collect cash. So what you sell in April, 70% is collected in April, 15% is collected in May, and 10% is collected in June. So from April to June, we would have collected 95% of this amount. Very carefully, you have to read the information very carefully. Then, what you sell in May, 70% of this will be collected in May, and 15% will be collected in June, only up to June. June is the deadline, cutoff date. That is 70 plus 15, it is going to be 85%. What you sell in June, till the end of June, you would have collected only 70% of this amount, which means if you just add all these up, you will get your answer. So it's going to be 120,000, 95% would have been collected within the second quarter, plus 100,000, 85% would have been collected in the second quarter, plus 90,000, 70% would have been collected. So the total amount you would have collected is going to be $262,000, and that makes A to be the correct option. And A, it should be. Okay. Is it little different? Let's see. Flesher Farms is preparing its cash budget for the next year. Sales are expected to be 100,000 in Jan, 200,000 in Feb, 300,000 in March, and 100,000 in April. Let us write this information down. Starting from Jan, Feb, March, and April. In Jan, the sale is expected to be $100,000, Feb $200,000, $300,000, and back again $100,000. Fine. Approximately half of the sales are cash sales, and the other half, 50%, are credit. Okay. Further, the collection pattern is important. It says experience indicates that 70% of credit sales will be collected in the month of sale, 20% the month after that, and 10% in the third month after sale. If this is the case, then how much cash should we expect to collect in April? All right. Now listen, it says half are credit, half are cash. So what you sell in April, 50% of these are cash sales which are collected immediately within April. The remaining 50% are credit, and out of those credit sales, you will collect 70% of the credit sales will be collected in the month of sale. So which means the remaining 50% which are credit, you will collect 70% of that amount, which is going to be 100,000, 50%, 50,000, 50,000, 70%, 35,000. So you would have collected these within April, from April sale. Go one step back. What you sold in March, 50% is cash collected within March, 50% is credit. Out of that 50% credit sale, 70% would have been collected in March. Now we are going to collect the next 20% in April. So which is going to be 300,000, 50%, 20%, 30,000. These questions will give you a little trouble in the beginning, but as I said, practice will make you perfect. All right, one step back in Feb, 200,000, 50% is credit sale, out of which 70% is collected within Feb, 20% is collected in March. Now we will collect 10% of the credit sale. So 200,000, 50%, 10% gives you 10,000. So 10 plus 30, 40, 40 plus 35 plus 50 gives you a nice whole number, which doesn't seem to be matching with any of these options. 50 plus 35 plus 30 plus 10, it's 125. Am I missing something? There is some adjustment to be made. It says 70% of the credit sales will be collected in the month following sale, which means you won't collect anything from April sale because the collection related to credit sale will start occurring after April, in May. So there is nothing related to April, just this 50,000 only. Okay. Then from what you sold in March, 50% would be the credit sale, and out of that, 70% you will collect now. 70% in the month after sales. So if you sold goods in March, 70% of the credit will come in April. So it's going to be 300,000, 50%, 70%. That is 105. All right. Then one step back. What you sold in Feb, 50% of that is credit. 70% received in March, and now you will collect 20% of this amount. So it's going to be 20,000 only. And what you sell in January, 50% of that is credit, 70% is collected in Feb, 20% in March, and now you're going to collect 10% of that amount, which is going to be, I believe, 5,000. So you have these numbers, just add these up and you should get your correct answer. 50,000 plus 1 of 5,000 plus 20,000 plus 5,000 gives you 180. Gives you 180. That is the answer. Answer says how to recognize this type of phrase. See, I just got lost here. 70% of the credit sales will be collected in the month following the sale. This was an important information which was messed up. Nonetheless, it proves my point. You have to read the information carefully. If you don't, you won't get the right answer. Now, this question is much different than the questions we have done previously. Very different question, requires a totally different approach to solve it. Let me show you. A company is preparing its cash budget for the coming month. All sales are made on account. All sales are on credit. Given the following, we have the beginning balance of cash. We have our opening balance of account receivables. We have our budgeted sales. We have our budgeted cash disbursements. We have the depreciation expense, which is non-cash item. And we have the ending account receivable. What we don't have is the cash we will collect in the coming month. What is the expected cash balance of the company at the end of the month and the coming month? So for that, we need to draw up a cash account. And for cash account, what we have the opening balance, which will be shown on the debit side. We have the cash disbursements, which will be shown on the credit side. And nothing else. Depreciation is a non-cash expense, so you just simply ignore this. Now, what we have to calculate, we have to see how much cash we will collect from our customers. What is the amount we are going to collect from our customers? For that, you need to make the account receivables control account or the total debtors account. We have the opening account receivable balance of 180. We sold goods worth 800,000 because all are on credit, all are on account. So it means this amount of 800,000 would appear on the debit side of your account receivable. And this is the opening balance brought down. This is the credit sale during the period. And after all the payments from your customers, still you will have 210,000 balance in your account receivables control account, which means if you balance this account off, the balancing will give you the amount that you are expecting to collect from your customers. So it's going to be 180 plus 800 less 210. So it is 770. 770,000 is what we expect to collect from our customers. So that is the projected cash collection, PCCS. That's what we are doing. That's what the topic is all about. So if this is the opening balance of cash, 770 is what we expect to collect from our customers, right? And 780 is what we expect to pay for the different cash disbursements. The closing balance will appear here. So it's going to be 770 from customers, 50 opening balance, less 780. You will have $40,000 as your closing balance of cash, and that gives you B to be the correct option. B is the right option. This question is very unlikely to appear because there are 4 questions in the single question. There are 4 different questions in the single question. How? Let me show you. Elsner company budgeted sales 220 for June, July, August, and September. October and November also. It says approximately 75% of sales are on credit. The remainder are on cash. Collection experience indicates 60% of the credit sales will be collected the month after sale, 36% the second month after sale, 4% will be uncollectible. Which month has the highest budgeted cash receipts? You can't just guess by just seeing these numbers. You have to calculate the cash inflow for August separately, September separately, October separately, November separately. There is no quick way to do it. So that's why there are 4 questions in a single question. If you may do, take a snapshot, share it in the group, and then you may try it later on. So they are 4 questions packed in one. So let us focus on something that we can conveniently manage rather than spending 15 minutes on a single question. If you ask me, I can solve that. But I think it'll be just repetition of same question 4 times being done. Whooper Incorporated budgeted sales on account 150 in July, 2 ton in August, 198 in September. These are the 3-month sales. Collection experience indicates 60% of the budgeted sales will be collected the month after sale, and 36% the second month, and 4% will remain uncollected. Remember, all of these are credit sales, budgeted sales on account. There is no cash sales. So you just take these numbers. The cash receipts from account receivable that should be budgeted for September. So you will follow this pattern I've discussed a little while ago. July, August, September, 150,000, 210, and 198. September, since all sales are on account, that means this September 198, it says 60% of the budgeted sales will be collected the month after sale. So you are not going to collect anything in September from September sale. You will start collecting your August sale in September. So what you sold in August, 60% of this amount will be collected in September. What you sold in July, 60% was collected in August. Now you're going to collect 36% of this. So simply take 2 tens, 60%, and 150,000, 36%. That gives you 180. Absolutely, Ansari got it right. It's 180, and that makes A to be the correct option. Anything unusual here? Yes. This is again a doable question. 75% is credit, 25% is cash, and now there is a collection pattern. So it's worth doing question. Matthew Nicholas Company budgeted sales for July, August, September, and October. For July, it's going to be 200,000, 280 for August, 198 for September, and 200,000 for October. 75% sales are credit, remainder 25% are cash. So make sure we don't make the mistake we did previously. Collection experience indicates that 60% of the budgeted credit sales will be collected the month after the sale. Similar question to the one we've done. 36% will be collected the second month, and 4% will be uncollectible. The cash receipts budgeted for October. Okay, now you are not going to collect any credit sales from October. What you will collect is just the cash sales, which is 25% of October sales. So 25% of October sale is going to be 50,000. Write this right here. What you sell in September, 75% of this is credit. And out of this credit sale, the first collection of September will start in October, because it says 60% of the credit sales will be collected the month after the sale. So what you sell in September, 75% of it is credit, and out of that, 60% will be collected in October. So it's going to be 198, 75% times 60%, that is 89, 100. Then what you sell in August, 75% of this is credit, and out of this credit, 70% is collected in September, 36%, 60% is collected in September, and 36% now will be collected in October. 280s, 75%, 36% is 75, 600. If you add all these, 75, 600, 89, 100, and 50,000, this will give you the total collection you expect in the month of October. It is 214, 700. That makes C to be the correct option. Now, there is a twist in this question. Sometimes you would be required to find out the balance of your account receivable. I was tested on this question. I was given information this way, and I was required to Find out the balance of account receivable. Let me take you to a simpler one that will be relatively easier to grasp. Just the sales figure without involving any bad debts. Let's say, take this one. Let's say you get this question on your exam, RR, and the questions require you to find out the balance of your account receivable at the end of May. It's the reverse working. We calculated cash collections. Now we have to see what we do not collect, what still remains uncollected at the end of May. So you just need to you need little improvisation. Just you need to do the question in the opposite way. We calculated the cash inflows up to May. Now we will see what we do not collect in May, till May. Now, our deadline is 31st of May. What is the balance of account receivable at the end of May? Now, listen. What you sold in May, 10% of that is collected immediately. 40% of that is collected in the month of sale. So what is not collected up to May? Now, listen to me very carefully. 85,000, 10% is cash collected immediately. 90% is credit. And out of that 90%, 40% of credit sales in the month of sale means you would have collected 40% of this number. What you would not have collected is the remaining 60%. This is the first input or first number to be added in your account receivable. Gentlemen, ladies, I need your very focused attention. This is a technical topic area, and there is not a single question in GLIME that requires you to calculate account receivable balance from this information, but you will find such a question on your exam. So you just need to see how it's done. So what is not collected will become part of your account receivable balance. Now listen to me. What you sold in April, 80,000, 90% of this is credit, out of which 40% is collected within April, 30% is collected in May. What is not collected is the remaining 30%. You'll calculate this amount. Then go till March. Let's see. What you sell in March, 90% is credit. Out of that 90% credit sales, 40% is collected in March, 30% is collected in April, 25% is collected in May. What is not collected is the remaining 5%. Right? So the working is similar but in opposite direction. Previously, we calculated what we will collect. This is I have calculated what I will not collect till the end of May. If you add these numbers, you should get balance of your account receivable. It is simple as that. You just need to focus on the dynamics, how you do it. Computation is not difficult. The workings are almost the same, but it's just in the opposite direction. So I hope you got the idea. Now let's see, do we have something special to do before we wind up today's class? Okay, a theoretical one. A firm develops an annual cash budget, cash inflows, cash outflows, in order to do what? To support the preparation of its cash flow statement for the annual report. Cash flow statement is prepared based upon your balance sheet. You need to have a balance sheet. Based upon your balance sheet, we draw up our cash flow statement. Cash budget is not an input to the cash flow statement. Cash flow statement can be drawn in two ways. Either you have two trial balances, opening trial balance, closing trial balance, number one, or you have two balance sheets, opening balance sheet, closing balance sheet. Cash budget is not an input to the cash flow statement. Wrong. A firm develops an annual cash budget in order to ascertain which capital expenditure projects are feasible and which capital expenditure projects should be deferred. Wrong. Cash budget only shows you the cash inflows and outflows. Which project should we select? This is done through tools we have. We will study in CMA Part 2, Section E, NPV, IRR, payback, discounted payback. So this is wrong as well. A firm develops an annual cash budget in order to determine the opportunity cost of alternative sales and production strategies. Again, this is a ridiculous option. Cash budget simply involves the projected cash inflows and outflows. So what basically the purpose of developing a cash budget? Avoid the opportunity cost of non-invested excess cash and minimize the cost of interim financing. If we know 6 months in advance which months we are going to have surplus, in those months we will utilize our surplus cash for making investment so as to avoid the opportunity cost, and which months we are facing shortfall so that we can make alternative arrangements to minimize our funding requirement. So only D remains, so that's why it's going to be the correct option. This is again a very different question from what we've done previously. So gentlemen, please be prepared for diversity, variation in questions, swings, this way, that way. Do not expect the questions will come like a straight line. Questions will be twisted and turning, so you need to be prepared accordingly. Good question, excellent one. The Maxwell Company's cash budget for the March includes the following information. The information concerns its account receivables. Determine the estimated cash receipts from account receivables collections in March, specifically March. Specifically March only. All right. Estimated credit sales for March is 300,000. This is not the cash. We just need to see what cash we will collect in March. Actual credit sales for February 250. Fine. This is the sales, not the collection. Now look at this is the required information. Estimated collections in March for credit sales made in March, 30%. 30% of 300,000. That's the first collection from the information we can extract. Then estimated collections in March for credit sales made in February. What you sold in Feb is 250. 60% of this you will collect in March, and that's going to be 250,000. 60%. Open your mind. Be prepared to see unusual, unsuspecting, very different questions on your exam. You just need to be so well prepared, so strong in your concept that you can do any question that comes your way. Focus more attention on conceptualizing the ideas, starting where do you need to start the question from. Develop this temperament, this attitude. Then it says estimated collections in March for credit sales prior to February. We would have sold goods before February, so the cash related to those sales will be 15, and this will be collected in March. You write just 15,000 right here. What about these? Estimated write-offs in March for uncollectible credit sales. This is what we will not collect. Since this is something we will not collect, it has already been adjusted in these numbers. You don't need to take this at all. It's just for confusing you. What about the last line? Estimated provision for bad debts, also called allowance for uncollectible accounts in March for credit sale, is $8,000. This is the expected bad debt. Now there is a difference. Let me explain this. What you see here, this is the actual bad debt. This 7,000 is the actual bad debt. Customer isn't paying you. And this 8,000 is the estimated bad debt. In both cases, they do not affect your cash. The cash inflows have already been separated. So you just have to add them up. 90 plus 150 plus 15, that is 255. So D is the right answer, and D it should be. So you just need to make sure you are extracting the right information. We have a question.